Star Wars Rebels concluded with semi-finality with the destruction of the second Death Star and the return of the Jedi in Luke Skywalker, as Luke managed to vanquish the command structure of the Empire and succeeded where many deemed impossible, turning the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader, back to the light side of the Force, and redeeming his true father, Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One. Since the finale of Star Wars Rebels, a lot has happened, including the triumphant return of the subsequent finale of the show's predecessor in the Clone Wars, with the character of Ahsoka specifically being spearheaded, with announcements of more shows to come that will feature her in live action, as well as a guest starring role in the second season of The Mandalorian this year, as well as her own series starring Rosario Dawson, again in live action. Following the finale of Clone Wars, creator Dave Filoni commented that the characters in Star Wars Rebels still had a story to tell moving forward. Dave Filoni made it clear that there was in fact a story there, but also commented that unlike Clone Wars, Rebels received a definitive ending to the story, and that when it came to those characters, and if they returned, it would not be a complete continuation of the Rebels series, but the beginning of a brand new one. One will likely differ in tone from the other, just as Clone Wars did with Rebels. Today though, we have even more news surrounding this Rebels sequel series, but not so much about the series itself, as the current major rumor and announcement is that the sequel series to Star Wars Rebels is not the only animated show in development over at Lucasfilm, and that there are 2 other shows in differing stages of production as well that will center around a galaxy far, far away, and likely different timelines for Star Wars. All we know about the 2 other Star Wars shows is that one will be animated in 3D using CGI, and the other a completely 2D show. We also received more news that, again as previously reported, the Rebels sequel series will be produced using the same animation style as the Clone Wars in Season 7, which was a huge win for many fans, as myself included along with them consider the Rebels animation style to be inferior to Clone Wars. So what does this mean? Well, hopefully, the 2 additional shows beyond the sequel to Rebels will tell their own large-scale story and journey, and will be truly quality like the final season of Clone Wars was. I will not be the first or the last to admit that I was not a fan of the animated series Star Wars Resistance, and I hope that these 2 additional animated shows that have been announced will take on more of the presence of Clone Wars and somewhat of Rebels, especially after the record-breaking performance that Clone Wars had, ranking in more viewers than any other animated show, and even dethroning The Mandalorian as the most streamed show on Disney+. With that said, it is likely that one of the 2 animated shows will be made and developed strictly for kids, in the same sense of Star Wars Resistance, as they need to fill that void in their marketing, and obviously want to get a younger generation more invested in Star Wars. However, even if one of the new animated shows turns out to be targeted towards children, I am more than content with 2 quality and more adult-themed Star Wars animated shows, as Clone Wars has really gone a long way, and gone a long way to prove just how epic a good story can be told and how epic the animated medium can be, as well as again massively successful. But what are your guys' thoughts on this, and the fact that beyond the sequel to Star Wars Rebels, there are 2 animated Star Wars shows currently in development? What do you hope to see from these shows? I'm super excited, and I really hope that they're about concepts and topics that I'm really intrigued by, and I hope a lot of them have the same or similar animation to Star Wars The Clone Wars, or at least tell their own unique style. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.